Welcome to another edition of the Insider Gridiron Report. I'm Jarret Johnson. I'm joined by the Mighty Joe Yeager. Mighty Joe, man, it's game week. Finally, we're here. We've made it. And man, Texas weather here. Just a day after the hottest day of the year. It's, cloud cover a little bit. Sun's coming in and out. It's windy. It's like maybe 30 degrees cooler today than it was yesterday, right?
Yeah, it's football weather. Just in time. Yeah, I mean, literally, it was 109 yesterday for the high. It was one of the hottest days in Lubbock's history. And right now, I'm guessing it's about 73, 74 degrees, something like that. Nice, cool breeze blowing. Loving it. Loving it. It'll be great if it's like this come kickoff as well. That may be too much to ask, but I hope so.
You know what? It's a great segue because it is supposed to be in the 80s on Saturday, which I don't know if that helps Tech or not because Montana's coming down. That's more their weather. Montana State, Tech's used to. They've been working out in the afternoons of the Texas heat, so bam, that advantage just disappears. But still, I think overall everybody would prefer to be in the 80s, right?
Yeah. It's funny that you mentioned that because I ran into Kirby Hocutt the other day, and I was talking about the weather. I said, "So hey, man, do you think it's going to be 105 on kickoff?" And he's like, "Well, I kind of hope it is because they're from up in Montana and everything." And we went back and forth, and then I was like, "Hey, we both saying, well, if we need the elements to be able to deal with Montana State, then you got some bigger issues to worry about." So hopefully that's not a factor at all.
That's a good point. And you were here at the Jones for Matador Monday. It's a new tradition Texas Tech starting where they had an open practice. It's really more for the students, but everybody was welcome. It's a way to kind of introduce the team to the students as they come back to campus. It's moving forward. It's going to be, the Monday of the opener, first day of classes generally. They gave away the first 500 students got free pizza. They gave away like Madden video games. So just really a pretty cool event in my mind. But you were actually there. You braved that heat I was talking about. How did it go? What was your impression of the event?
Yeah, well, I mean, first off, I guess it was pizza, but I saw a lot of Whataburger boxes. Well, maybe the pizza was in the Whataburger boxes or what? I don't know.
I think maybe Beard was here, so he may insist. He was there, so he was insisted it'd be Whataburger.
Right. I think he's got some stock in that company. He ought to be like a share owner or something like that. But at any rate, well, I mean, it was a heck of a time to do this. Your first Matador is the hottest day of the year, 109. But still, I mean, everybody was over on the west side where the shade was. I'm guessing attendance was around 2,000. So, I think all things considered, it's an okay way to start it out. I mean, traditions don't start out, full blown. It takes a little time usually. So, but I think it's a good idea. It's ideally, if you're watching football, you get to see hitting. You'd love to see that. That wasn't happening. The guys were in shells and shorts. And just running through drills and so forth. And there was 11 on 11 as well, but you're not going to see a lot of line play. The ground game is not going to be anything of a factor. You don't get to see how the team tackles. Nobody goes to the ground. You barely even. So it is what it is.
Well, let me ask you this, Joe. Since there wasn't a lot of hitting going on, any of the receivers or quarterbacks stand out to you?
Yeah, now that's one thing that I kind of did take away from it. As much as I can from that situation. I do feel a little bit better about the receivers than I have up to this point. I've heard all the talk from you and others about...
You say it with such disdain.
But saw it from my own eyes. Eric Ezukanma, he's in the starting lineup, and he looks the part. R.J. Turner is a big old hoss as well. Those two guys are kind of built the same.
They are, yeah.
So they definitely look like D1 major receivers. Xavier White, the guy, walk-on, who just came from completely out of nowhere. Yep. I mean, I barely even remember hearing about him entering the program. Yeah. But he looks, I mean, you've been saying, he's the surprise of the camp. I can see that now, and so... I'm seeing that, and I was worried about the Seth Collins injury, and with him out and everything, how's that going to affect the depth of receiver? But after last night, I feel like they're probably actually in pretty good shape at receiver.
Once you see it for your eyes, which is what I was trying to explain to you, once you see it, it's really not as bad, especially when you consider that a tight end is going to take up one of those slot positions. I mean, receiver depth, and I tell you what, of all the things Kingsbury said to me, in his time here, which I really took to heart, was I think it was before last year actually. He said all this talk about people asking about not having a lot of receivers coming back. He goes, "This is Texas Tech. There's one position I don't worry about. It's receivers." He said, as long as I can remember, he said, at least as long as he had been going to Texas Tech, they always seemed to reload the position. And like you predicted, Antoine Wesley stepped up, came out of almost nowhere, and had like a all Big 12 type of season. So yeah, I think they're going to be okay at receiver, I think, compared to maybe perhaps some other positions. But, Money Joe, we're going to have more Gridiron reports as the season progresses. We're going to have a lot more football content, of course, including more video content coming y'all's way this week. So hang with us, keep watching. Joe, great stuff from you as always. Thank y'all for watching, and until next time.